Okay, so now let's go ahead and um, do some of our utility classes. So I'm going to walk through one on here because we've been talking about it a lot, but there are, so let's look inside the code. On our page, we end up having something that we don't want to end up seeing. So if we have, so let's say we have like our header, so let's do header, and then inside of there we're going to have our navigation. Maybe I might end up having here this, so the stuff that we want actually not to be visually seen but to still be there in terms of organization. So here I have, my list of links for all of my stuff. One. Well, we've kind of talked about this, that we would put a comment and say this will be not seen. Okay, and then we wrote a comment just to help reference. Okay, but we're still seeing it, and we don't want to. And this is where I don't actually want to delete it. I do not want to comment that out. If I comment this out, then nobody with a screen reader is going to actually see this. So I do need to have a utility class in here that I can apply to certain things that I'm using for structure, for semantics, but I don't need to actually visually see. So people who are trying to go through with screen readers can say, oh, the H2, give me all the H2 heading title names, and one of them's navigation. Then they know exactly what that section is. Okay, so it makes it a lot easier for them to navigate and to use our page. But we're going to have to write some code to start moving this. So in the previous video, going over this, you guys did see the assignment where I'm talking about using the screen reader. So this, all I'm doing is I'm really just setting it up. Okay, you guys, if you have any questions, go back and reference that video. I walk through kind of exactly what's happening. All right, so screen reader only. There is my class that I'm going to use as my selector. Okay. The first thing that we want to do is we need to absolutely position it. So let's do absolute. Top will be auto, and then left is where I actually want to move it 10,000 pixels to the left. So it will be in line, the same in line. It will be here before these links, but it'll be all the way over, and it's not scrollable. So I do need to set a couple other things. I need to have a width of 1 pixel, a height of 1 pixel, and overflow needs to be hidden. Okay, so I don't want anything to show outside of that. So just what I have right here, if I apply that to my navigation, so I got to apply that class, and I do screen reader only, I'm now not seeing that navigation. It's not taking up any space. So that means that things can bump up. If I didn't have this in there, then the absolute position, it's still there. But now, because I pulled it out, that absolute position, everything's kind of bumping up. As soon as I start putting this the width and height down, let me comment that out so you guys can see that. Let's do 10 pixels. It's still there. It's just very, very small. Let's do 20 pixels and 20 pixels. You should be able to see a little bit of it. See right there? That's the part of the N for navigation. Okay, I'm making a very, very, very small square for that size and then just not letting anything overflow. If I have the overflow shut off, it's going to write it regardless. Okay, So even if I went down to 1 pixel for the height as well, it's still showing because it's overflowing. So if I put a background here of, let's say, red, we can see that it's not really taking up. There's a little red square up there. You can just barely see it. Put this back up a little bit. We can see it right there. Okay. This is overflowing. It is not staying inside of there. It is way out of bounds. That's where this overflow hidden is. If I have that overflow hidden, anything that's outside of the box will not show up. And then I want the size down to 1 pixel. I do not need this background. Okay, the last thing that I would need to do is my left. I don't want it positioned on the page at all. So I'm just going to move it 10,000 pixels to the left. This is not something that I've made up. This is not new. This is actually very uniform code that's been used by lots of people for using screen reader stuff. So anything that I don't want to be visually seen on my page, I apply the screen reader utility class, and it will absolutely position it, the same level that it is vertically, but move it 10,000 pixels to the left, resize the size to 1 pixel by 1 pixel, and then hide everything. But it's still there. It still exists on my page. So I could still technically navigate to it if I was using a screen reader. So this is what we would want to do. So anything that you are going to have, that you have a comment that something's not going to be visually seen, that's applying that class, and this is how we would do it, okay? So then I don't need that anymore, that comment. I just need to have this class, and my stuff is gone, exactly how I want, okay? So use that for setting up your guys' utility classes. You must have that screen reader in there for the next final website turn-in. All right, good luck, have fun.